So, it's Saturday morning, 7:30 a.m. and the aim for today is to run a marathon. Now normally, I prefer to run in the countryside, which is much nicer than road running. But today what I'm doing, I'm taking you on my 13.1 mile half marathon circuit where I live. And the reason for that is quite simply, it's a nice easy circuit, and in terms of today's challenge, it's perfect. And whilst I have my GoPro with me today, I'm treating this as a normal race. So that means you only have shots of me running, holding this. And whilst this is a total road route, it's good because it has a nice mix of ups, downs and flats. Long runs like this are the only time where I put anything in my bladder pack. So I choose to use Tailwind, the caffeinated version, green tea. And I find when you're doing longer runs that I certainly need that. Because let's be honest, when you're addicted to caffeine like me, 4 hours plus without a cup is too much. And if you haven't noticed already, the weather today is absolutely awesome. Blue skies and sun, and I remember to put my suntan lotion on. When doing a marathon, it's very important to pace yourself. And the secret for me is to run at a constant pace throughout the whole run. So we are 9 miles in, and I'd say things are going okay. I found a nice mellow pace, and I'm sticking to that. This would be the one main hill on the route, but it's not so bad, so you can actually run it without needing to stop, which is good. Now, I'm a firm believer that probably one of the biggest muscles that we as runners use is our brain. Knowing I can run a marathon is what's pretty much helping me to do this. Even though I haven't run a marathon for 7 months, and I haven't even run over 20 miles for probably 3 months, the fact I know I can do it is what's driving me. So if you're a runner and you've had COVID, how have you found running post-COVID? Have you managed it? Or have you found it much harder than normal? So we're on our second lap now. So that's 15 miles in the bank. Legs are getting a little bit more tired, it must be said. I've kind of slowed down more to a 10-minute mile pace. But that's fine. The first half I actually ran in 2 hours 5 minutes, which ain't too bad by my standards and for half marathon pace. So I reckon I'm probably aiming for about 4.5 hours. How do you feel about running laps? I was never that keen on lap running, but then I did a couple of those events where you run as many laps as you can in an 8-hour period. And that totally converted me as far as running laps was concerned. And actually now, I find running laps makes runs like this a lot easier. Because when you have a set circuit, it kind of breaks it up a bit. I think it makes it easier because of what I was talking about earlier. When you run laps, it almost seems shorter, and psychologically, it feels easier. The secret with Tailwind is just to take little sips every now and again. Now the secret I find to distance running is to break your run up into portions, because again, psychologically, it becomes easier. So for me in this run, that's meant 10 miles, 13 miles, and 20 miles. And for me, having those targets that I focus on, rather than thinking about 26, makes the run much more psychologically doable. And just to prove the point, I went through the 20-mile marker about a mile and a half ago. And in my mind, knowing that I've only got a 10k left to run makes this last bit easy. Because the thing is, by having that thought process of I've only got 10k left to run, means I'm not thinking about the fact, Jesus, I've not run this far in over 7 months. And I'm not thinking, ow, you know what, my right shin's starting to hurt. No, instead, I'm just thinking to myself, I've only got 4 miles left. And I forgot to say, the other massive bonus of running laps is that it makes it very easy to zone out when you run. And I find when I zone out, it makes distance running even easier because I'm not thinking about anything. And the absolute final marker on the journey is I'm now at 23 miles. So that means there's just an easy 5k left. And the best news of all, it's downhill now for the next 2 miles. And now we find ourselves in what I call the hardest part of the run. We're in the last mile now. So we're now at 25.27 miles. And it looks like we're going to finish in about 4 hours 20. But this is the hardest mile now, because you know the end is near. My shin that was hurting is starting to hurt even more. My feet feel like blocks of stone. And I've run out of water as well. But we're nearly there. We've achieved our goal. And there we go. The target for today was to run a marathon. My first marathon since October 2021 when I did the Virgin London Marathon. And I'm rather pleased to say we did it. And the time wasn't too bad either. 4 hours 26:18, 26.5 miles. And if you remember, I predicted it would be 4.5 hours, so I was bang on. Now I am knackered, I'm in bad need of water, cooling my face down, and then I need to crack on with my normal Saturday afternoon stuff. So I hope you found this little video useful. I'm aware it might have drifted more into the realms of thought techniques that can help a runner. I think that's what the title will probably be called. Thought techniques to help you run, or something like that. But anyway, until next time, I will see you later. Take care.